Hello everyone, today's video is going to be about Q&A, questions about my comment section from my first Vanlife video, and two of the most common asked Vanlife questions. So here we go. So question number one, where did you get the bamboo storage bins and the wooden top bins? Cool. So I got those at TJ Maxx, and you could also find them at Ross and Marshalls. So they sell them in those three stores. Question number two, do you have solar or power source? I do have a solar now. This question was asked on my first Vanlife video. I've had three so far. And in the first Vanlife video, I did not have solar panel. I had an extension cord running from my friend's laundry room. And now I've upgraded and I've added some more stuff, and I do have a solar panel, and that's what I use for my electricity. Okay, number three is asking about the rear view camera, what brand and where I got it. So I got it at Amazon. The brand, I'm not quite sure, but I'll put it right here. Okay, next question. Where did you get the wood, and was it already cut to size? I got it at Home Depot. I got all my wood at Home Depot, so it was closest to me. I know where stuff is, so if I needed some more stuff, I knew where to get it, where to find it. Cut to size, mainly the width. All the width of the wood that I bought was the actual size that I needed. The length was just what I needed to cut, except for the sink. For the sink, it was a little more trouble to actually build, so I did have to do more cuts, and it was just a little bit harder in general. But everything else was pretty simple. Are you an engineer? No, far from being one. I studied criminal justice in college. I was going back and forth from Texas, California. My last semester, they decided to charge me out-of-state tuition fees because me living in Texas. And my last semester was going to be $700, which isn't bad for a last semester of college. But with those non-residential tuition fees, my total came out to $4,300 for my last semester of college, and unfortunately I wasn't able to pay that, and so they haven't released my certificate, and I cannot transfer because I owe money. So I'm working on paying that, and studying something else. I don't see myself going into the field anymore, so I'm gonna try and continue my studies in a different field. So that's how my education is going right now. Okay, next question. Have you thought about a sliding extension for your bed? Did you buy or make your bed, and how wide is the bed? Okay, first off, I did not think about a sliding extension for the bed. My bed, as you guys know, it's an extension that extends up and out, and then lays on the bench right in front of it. I did not consider an extension, just a sliding extension. It would have been so much easier. So if you guys are thinking about doing a similar build to mine, at least the bed section of it, a sliding extension would probably work much better. It's going to be easier for you guys to extend out and retract back in, and I'd say just so I would say that a sliding extension would probably be best for this type of layout. And I did make the bed. I made the bed myself. Everything in here I made myself. It's not perfect and it's not the best, but it works well. So yeah, it took me some time because I'm not experienced. The bed itself, just where the mattress sits, it's about 29 inches wide or so. Did you remove the stowaway seats? This van does not come with the stowaway seats. The seats actually have to be completely removed from the van, so I don't have extra storage where those seats would go. So no, basically what you see is what you get, and no extra storage, no seats hidden anywhere. They were completely taken out. How do you cover your windows at night? Okay, so you can see right now this section. So for the most part, I did make a video about my window covers, but real quick, basically windshield reflector glued to cardboard, and then Gorilla Tape on the cardboard side, on the inside of the cardboard, to give it more strength. And then I added this, which I'm not quite sure what it's called, but I'll look through my Amazon basket and put it up here. And but what I like about it is it's white, so light reflects better off of it. So at night I don't have to set my lights to the brightest settings, I could set it on the lowest settings, and I get more light than I would without these coverings, so it works out. Do you do builds for others? I do not do builds for others. This build, even though I like how it turned out and it works for me, there's a lot of little details that aren't perfect, and I wouldn't want to work on someone else's build and for it not to be perfect. So I wouldn't feel comfortable, and so I really don't. How do you keep your water containers cold during the day? When I first built the van and I first made the first video, it was wintertime, so the weather would keep it cool. Now during the summer, I do have a process. So I have this. So once I fill this, then I put this in the cooler. Then once it's cold, then I put it in here, and then I maintain this with me. So it's rated to keep beverages for 42 hours cold. And I follow that process time and time again. Just fill this up, cooler, take it out once it's cold, put it in here, then I have this drink. I have 2 of these, so I could store a lot of cold water in it for the whole day, so that's what works for me. Any changes or updates since October? Yes, quite a few. Solar, the roof rack, I created a crate on it. I added a fridge, added a cooler, a lot of little details. I do have videos explaining what else I've added. I have a 4-month upgrade video, the TV also, and then I added a final walkthrough video of me actually camping and how I use it while camping. So I have 2 more videos. If you want to see them, they're on my channel, so just take a look at that, and you'll see all the upgrades since October. How does the build stay in place? Is it bolted? No, it's not bolted. No extra holes on the van. Everything just sits. So the bed itself, it just sits in place. It's heavy. The rest of the build, it's just, you have to measure exactly what you need, and you just have to make sure you cut so everything could fit in place. For example, my seat, my driver's seat holds onto the sink, and therefore the back of the shelves fit right in place back there, so everything's just cramped in together. And usually, for the most part, it doesn't move. One time I did have a bad experience. This came lunging this way, and that happened when I did a sharp turn. So after that, I put a bungee cord on it, and it holds onto the side of the van, inside the van. Where do you park for sleeping? Obviously, they're talking about sleeping in the city. And I usually look for apartment complexes. I don't park inside the parking lot for apartment complexes, but I parked outside on the street. The reason being is because in apartment complexes, there's a lot of people that live there, so there's a lot of cars that come and go. So no one really knows whose car is who or any of that. So they're not looking out for cars that they're not familiar with. So I park outside on the street right next to apartments, and that works for me. I have no problems doing that. There are some areas where apartments are kind of iffy, a little bit dangerous, but if you look for apartments in a decent area, you're not going to have any problems with anything. But that's usually what I look for whenever I park in cities. Do you have a video of your build? I do not have a video of it. When I bought the van, I had just about a week before I left Texas. So I had to get as much done as possible, and just recording video and finding the angles and getting the audio and lighting and all that stuff. It was going to take time, and I didn't have time. So I took a few pictures, not many, but I don't have a video. I wish I had a video because it turned out to be a great setup that a lot of people liked. And I wish I could just have a video of the process and show people how it's done. Okay, what do you do if it gets cold or rains? Do you stay warm in the winter? If it rains, it's no problem. I mean, it's a van. There's no water coming into this vehicle at all. So I'm safe, I'm dry, I have no issues. If it gets cold, it's just dressing up in layers. I have some pants that are very warm. They're North Face. The color is kind of iffy, but they work. I got them on sale, so that's what I use. Sweater, jacket if I have to. I do the double sleeping bag method, which is basically a sleeping bag inside of a sleeping bag, So I have my main sleeping bag that it's rated for 0 degrees, and I have another sleeping bag that it's rated for 45 degrees. So I put the smaller, thinner sleeping bag inside of the thicker sleeping bag, and that usually helps me throughout any temperature. So it works for me. I give it a try, and it should work for you too. Next question is, how do you wash dishes? Do you have a pump? How do you use the bathroom? Okay, so I have a sink and I have a foot pump. So if anything, I would recommend for you get an electric pump if possible, because not being able to stand up makes it much more complicated to work with the foot pump, and your leg is gonna cramp up, and it's not comfortable. It's not good. It works, but it works, but it could be better. So I wash dishes in my sink, and that's basically it for that. The restroom, if I'm in a place with no public facilities, or maybe if I'm in a city where I don't have access to a restroom, I do have a 3 gallon bucket, which actually has a lid that's like a toilet seat, and it has a cover lid as well. So when you open the cover lid, it has a toilet seat, and you could do whatever you want there. If I have an emergency and I have to use it, I do double bag it. Then once I'm done, I close the bag up. If I could dump it somewhere, I'll dump it somewhere. If I can't, I'll leave it in the bucket, and then I'll close the lid. And usually the lid seals pretty well, so you don't smell anything. And it's the bags are already waterproof or leak proof, and they have a good scent. I buy the scented bags, and then with the lid on it, like there's no odors escaping it, so you don't have to worry about that. What kind of van is it? Is it a diesel van? It is not diesel, regular unleaded gas, and it's a Dodge. It's a 2002 Dodge Caravan Sport, so it's a little bit older, and it works fine. It rides smooth, so it works for me. Okay, now I'm gonna answer 2 general questions about van life that weren't in the comment section, but I saw them online. So the first one is, what did you look for when buying your van? So there were 2 things. First off, it was budget, so how much it cost, and miles. So I wanted a van that was gonna be under a specific amount of money, and that wasn't over 100,000 miles. So those were my 2 things that I focused on, and I wanted a cargo van. I wanted a big van, high top and all that stuff, but my budget, it didn't allow for that. So I had to settle with the minivan, and this is what I got. And the other question is, how did you start the van life? Well, I started, I did about 2 years of watching nothing but videos, blogs about hooking up solar panels, electricity, different refrigerators, bathroom setups, indoor and outdoor. I really wanted a cargo van, and that's what I did. I went to Texas. I stayed in my van for a few months, and I enjoyed it. I finished my setup while being out there, and since I was in it, I knew what I needed, and I was building it as I went, and I prepared it for camping, and then I did some camping, traveling, and it's worked fine. It's worked great. But yeah, it was a lot of research, a lot of inspiring videos, and slowly but surely, the time came when I had the money to do it, and I invested in it, and then the rest is history. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.